Okay, I want to do a little video to show you these printable bearing holders for the Tumbler Model B. I had these printed at the library, and these look like this. And then I had a friend who has a liquid resin printer print these that look much nicer, but do the same thing. These were printed by the library. They're not as fancy, but they will do the job. So let me show you what we're gonna do. You're gonna install the bearing in this bearing holder, and then this has two push-in thread, forget what they're called, and basically you sandwich it together, and then you end up with something that looks like this. And in the inside, this bearing runs compared to that. So I'm gonna build up this white one and put it on the other side so you can see it. So in back, I installed the bearing, put the two screws in, screwed it together, and basically you're gonna remove this and insert it like so. And then you can put it in and then drop that one in there. So you can see they both do the same thing. They kind of ride on that shoulder where the original bearing was. There's no modification to the metal frame, and now they're both on a ball bearing, which should be a lot quieter. And I know these get really messy when you put oil on them and they spin around and they move back and forth, and then the oil runs down and it gets all dirty. So this should be a nice improvement. You're probably looking at $10 a side or a bearing, because by the time you buy the bearings and have these printed and then put it all together, it should be a pretty nice setup. I didn't put the spring on there that holds it into the bearing. Like on this side, you can see I reinstalled the spring so that it can't pop out. So unfortunately, I don't have a tub to put on top or a barrel. It's currently out in the garage spinning with rocks in it, but I wanted to show you these holders. You can go out to printables, and it's called Tumbler Model B Bearing Mod, and this is the person who you're going to look for when you do a search, and it should come up with some files that you can download and some instructions. Here's the instructions that give you the ball bearings you need, which I got off of eBay. Then there's these 3mm heat sets, which were the threaded inserts, and the 3mm shoulder bolt. And the magnet I did not do. The magnet is supposed to go in the bottom here. I'm not quite sure what purpose it's supposed to serve, but I did not do the magnet. And the other directions are here, and then here's the two file that you can get, the one body and then the hanger. Okay, that's pretty much it. Another picture basically of what I had with the bearings and the screws in the insert. It's not all that difficult as long as you can find somewhere to print the brackets. And like I said, our local library offers for you to send in the file and they'll print it for you. And it's like you pay 3 cents a gram or something like that. Very cheap. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments. Okay, I'm going to install some of those new bearing holders. And as you can see, the old bearings are quite messy. They got oil dripping down. And so I'm going to remove all that, clean it up, and put those new bearing holders in place. Be back quick. Okay, so I'm getting ready to put my retro pieces on. And I thought it was interesting at how much wear is actually on the shafts. So I don't know, for some odd reason, I can't get it to focus, but you can see the wear marks and the grooves that are actually in there. And that was riding on the plastic in the old original bearings. And the bearings didn't look used, but the shaft is actually wearing, which I find interesting. Well, we'll see what these do. Here we go. I don't have an assistant to hold my camera, so I'll be back. All right, I have the first set installed. I had the clip on a little bit too far, so I had to adjust it out, but it's perfect in there. You can see it rotates really nice on the bearing. A little play, and I'm going to do the front too. Okay, I have them both installed. They rotate really nice. This one's a little tight, but it's on the motor. I have the pulley on. I'm going to put the tub on next, and we'll plug it in and see how it runs. Well, looks like they're doing really good. It's nice and quiet. No longer have to lube. Those are self-lubed or sealed bearings. I like it. I think it does really well. I did find a different style of bearing holder on the internet. Instead of individual, it is made and printed to fit all the way across the top. And it holds 2 of the same bearings. I'm going to investigate that next, but I'm going to let this run for a while, see how it goes. I have it back in place on my table. Now this is out in the garage, so you're probably wondering what this lamp is. It's basically a heating element for like a reptile tank. And what it does is it keeps the drum from freezing. Unless, of course, it gets really, really cold. But for the below freezing nights, it keeps the drum from freezing up and the rocks keep tumbling. There you go. If I encounter any issues, I'll update the video. But as far as I'm concerned, this was a worthwhile project. Thanks for watching.